We have an interesting question here. Believe me when I said it is interesting, and you want to watch to the end of this video to see how we are going to solve the problem. It says, find the area shaded yellow in the blue square below, all sides in centimeter. We are given a blue square with a small rectangle inside of it and a larger portion shaded yellow. The task in this question is to find the area that is shaded yellow. Now, we know that this blue square has equal length. Let's call each of the lengths y so that we have y across each side of the square. Now, let's look at the square carefully. Inside of it, we have a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 9. The length of this side of the square is y. It means that the length of this remaining part should be y minus 9. If this is 9 and this is y, then obviously this should be y minus 9. Again, this rectangle has length of 9, but we don't know the width. Let's call the width x. Now we are going to consider this small rectangle here. If we consider the white rectangle, we know that the area of the rectangle should be length 9 times the width x. That should be equal to 18. So we can say that 9 times x, 9x is equal to 18, the area of the white rectangle. To obtain x, we can divide both sides by 9. So that x will be equal to 18 divided by 9 to give us 2. So here, x is what? 2. Now, we know that the entire length here is y, and this bit here is 2, which means from this point to this point will be y minus 2, because the entire length is y, from here to this point is 2, which means from this point to this point will definitely be y minus 2. Looking at this carefully, we have a right-angled triangle. Let's call it triangle ABC. So that if we consider that triangle ABC, we can apply Pythagoras theorem to obtain the value of y, because we know once we get the value of y, the problem is 90% solved. So let's find the value of y considering triangle ABC and apply Pythagoras theorem. If we do just that, it means that y minus 2 squared plus y minus 9 squared will be equal to the hypotenuse squared, which is 13 squared. This is Pythagoras theorem. Let's expand the bracket. If we expand y minus 2 squared, we are going to obtain y squared minus 4y plus 4. If you take your time to expand this, you are going to get this. Plus, if you take your time to expand y minus 9 squared, you are going to get y squared minus 18y plus 81. And everything is equal to 13 squared. Now, let's solve further. This reduces to y squared plus y squared will give us 2y squared, minus 4y minus 18y will give us minus 22y. 4 plus 81 gives us plus 85, and that is equal to 169, because 13 squared is 169. At this point, we'll subtract 169 from both sides, and if we do that, we have 2y squared minus 22y plus 85 minus 169 equal to 0. 85 minus 169 would give us 84, negative 84. So we have 2y squared minus 22y minus 84 equal to 0. And this is a quadratic equation. To make it simpler, 2 is common to each of the terms. So let us divide through by 2. If we divide through by 2, 2 divide 2 will be left here with y squared. 2 into 22 will be left with negative 11y. 2 into 84 will be left with negative 42, and that is equal to 0, because 0 divided by 2 is equally 0. Now we have a quadratic equation and we're going to solve it to obtain the value of y. This is the quadratic equation. Let's factorize. This becomes y squared minus 14y plus 3y minus 42 equal to 0. The factors are negative 14 and positive 3. Minus 14y plus 3y will give us negative 11y. Of course, minus 14 times 3 will give us minus 42. So our factorization is correct. Let's continue. Y is common to both sides, so if we factor out y, we'll be left with y minus 14 plus 3 is common to both sides. If we factor out 3, we'll be left with y minus 14, and everything is equal to 0. Now, y minus 14 is common to both sides, so if we factor out y minus 14, we'll be left with y plus 3, and everything multiply each other is equal to 0. This means that either y minus 14 is equal to 0 or y plus 3 is equal to 0. And that means that y is equal to 14 or y is equal to negative 3. Now, looking at this negative 3, if you put it into this, if you substitute it here, you have a negative length. If you substitute it here, you have a negative length. And of course, we know that length can never be negative. It therefore means that y equals to minus 3 is invalid in this situation, so that our y will be equal to 14. Now we've obtained y. The next thing is to find the area of the blue squared. The area of the blue squared is simply y times y, and that is y squared. If we put the value, we have that the area of the blue squared is equals to 14 squared, and that is equal to 196 centimeter squared. Now that we know the area of the blue squared, it is now easy to know the area shaded yellow, because everything is 196. This little bit here is 18. It therefore means that the area shaded yellow will be 196 minus 18, which gives us our final answer as 178 centimeter squared. Now you can see that it's very interesting, and it's also simple, but it's interesting. Now, there is a question at the end of this video, which I will post very soon. However, please like, share this particular video. If you've not followed our page, endeavor to follow our page so that you will make others come and watch interesting content on our page. Thank you very much for watching. Now, have this simple one for you to do. Read the question and put your answer in the comment section. Once again, thank you for watching.